In my last video, I posed the question of, what is the most beautiful Gundam model kit of all time? Well, today I'm going to pose a similar question, just on sort of the almost opposite end of the spectrum. What is the silliest Gundam model kit of all time? Just like gunpla can be beautiful, gunpla can be equally as daft. And today I'm going to be taking a look at one of the most all-time daft Gundam model kits out there, the high-grade Gundam the End. Rocking a little bit of Death Side Hell, 6 shooters, Gundams on its palms, and a tiny weird almost ghost-like unicorn Gundam that pops out of its chest. I mean, it doesn't get much weirder than this. But the real question is it any good? Let's check it out. As usual, this video right here was made possible by those absolutely awesome people over at Bai. So if you are looking for some hard to get or older kits, rare or completely common, you're gonna absolutely find them on there. I do every single time, and that's where I got this. Now let's go back in time, bust it open, and build it. So jumping right on into the unboxing, and inside the box we've got 11 runners, some of which are very, very small, as well as the manual. This is your typical Gundam Build Fighters manual with the box art image, information about the mobile suit and the pilot, and around back we've got all the information about what we'll be seeing inside the box, or should I say, on the actual Gundam kit once it is complete. Once again, this is pre-translation, so this is pre-2016, so it's only in Japanese, so if you want all the info, jump on over to the Gunpla wiki. On here we can see that this is definitely gonna be one interesting kit. We've got Gundam faces with mouths in the bottom of them, and a tiny little almost ghost-like unicorn Gundam that pops out of the chest, and that's not even the wildest aspect about it. The wildest aspect is that sticker sheet. Wow, just look, I don't think it's been a long time at least since I've seen a sticker sheet this wild and over the top, and well, not including an SD kit. I mean, seriously, there's a V-fin on the sticker sheet. These stickers are for a lot of the details in here. If you take a look at the runners, we are missing all of the color on the Gundam faces in here, which is huge missed potential. And of course, the V-fin is for on that tiny little Gundam unicorn that does come out of the chest. Either way, this looks like it's going to be possibly a little bit of a mess of a high grade, but I guess we'll see what happens. So jumping right on into the build, and here's the leg when it is finished, and it has very Death Side vibes, but none of this kit is based on Death Side at all. It's brand new, well, brand new back in, let me check one of these runners here, 2015. It would have been built from the ground up. Anyway, we've got a standard double ball, there's no balls, double joint knee right there. The ankle doesn't really have too much to it. It can tilt down nicely like so. One interesting thing about this plastic, and I'm not sure if it will show up on camera, is it's not black. It's a clear plastic in super dark, which might be hard to kind of get your head around. It snips and cracks, as in when you snip it makes a crack sound just like clear parts do, but it's so dark that you can't see that it's clear. But it is impregnated with a lot of like carbon. Man, I'm saying all sorts of weird words that make absolutely no sense. Gone mad off the build mess. Build number 27 out of 50, by the way. But yeah, it's got a lot of kind of coppery little reflex or glitter inside of it, which almost gives it a little bit of a brown hue when you're looking at it in person. Anyway, as for the build, the foot here is the usual kind of old school Revive ankle polycap into the upper foot. You then attach it on into the big spiky toed section, and then a little bit of ankle armor snaps in like that. 2 of those slot style Revive polycaps for attaching on the knees and the feet. Black knee armor. Single point knee joint, it does become a 2-point knee joint when you do slot it down into the polycap of the lower leg. Upper leg armor slots on. The waist joint, again, that kind of single joint polycap that we do see in Revive kits, and that attaches then down into this segment here. And then it's just the final assembly of the leg. You attach that hip joint on, the lower leg just like so, and then we've got an additional joint for the foot which attaches into the foot to pop it finally onto the leg. And there we go. On to the next set of limbs, and that is the arms. First off, we've got the arm right here. This has a lot of interesting aspects going on. We've got a sticker for an eye inside of the shoulder right here. It's a double jointed bend, so that's a nice elbow joint, definitely. And one thing I've never seen before in a Gundam kit, a yellow set of hands, obviously based off of the color scheme of the Psycho Gundam. We also attach a little bit of a pink sticker for this little vent section below. The shoulder design is very simple, just a simple polycap in there. As you can see then, the shoulder is attached on by a ball joint, which does tend to limit the overall articulation in a kit when it comes to the arms. Simple and quite hollow inside. Some purple layers on in order to cover up the eye. A very nice 2-point bend for the arm, so very nicely designed elbow right there. Next up, popping on the forearm just like that. A very interesting designed kind of elbow segment with this flared, man, can't talk at all today. Flared out section, upper arm armor in that nice gray. And then this gets finished off with the hand which attaches in like so, and the shoulder which pops up there. Simple, effective, and a really unique design. Moving now on up to the waist, we've got a polycap for the ab crunch, rocking up and down pair of hips, all locked in with a static, non-moving butt flap. Gray on purple color separation. Some pink stickers have to be attached onto the front skirtings, and this is an interesting kit because the skirtings are separated in the box and don't actually come into contact with each other on the model kit. They're actually quite far apart. This is something you don't actually see all that often. Then you attach them in with that panel. Lastly then is the side skirtings, which attach on with the old hinge style polycaps. Popping on the legs now, so there we go. Right leg, or should I say left leg, it's our right, but his left, and the actual right leg. So there we are so far, coming together fairly decently. Jumping now into the torso, and first off, polycap shoulders, which are aligned to tilt upwards, as well as that polycap neck, which slots in like so. Torso back, waist joint, locks in, attaches into the front of the torso. Some nice detail right there. Sticker, gray color, lower torso jaw, and upper torso jaw. And there's the torso finished. It doesn't really do a whole lot itself. There is some joints and polycaps, but it's pretty much non-articulated. Getting that popped onto the upper body like so, and it's coming together very, very well. Absolutely almost forgot I have the arms finished too, so there's the arms, 1 and 2. I'll also mention this is what it looks like pretty much as a Gundam without the backpack on it, and it does have the standard backpack adapter, the 2-peg situation. The core of the backpack just involves attaching in 4 of these joints right here. They may look like polycaps, but they're not. They're actually plastic parts. And then it closes up just like that. So next up, taking a look at Gundam the End's head, and this is one of the wildest heads I've ever seen. It's got so much going on. First, it's kind of like bullet tip shaped, almost like a kind of samurai helmet in a certain way. We've got 3 various stickers in here, and this is the only bit of red on the actual mobile suit. So there's a runner specifically just for the little Gundam beard in here. As for the assembly, you just throw the muzzle onto the beard section. You have to attach the eyes on. The eyes here are separate stickers, but they fit onto fitted areas, so they're not hard to line up. Then it attaches into the bottom section of the helmet, 2 sides attach on, and then you have to pop on the 2 Gundam blade antenna sections to make up the V-fin. Now this is a little bit difficult because they're kind of hard to push in from the side, but overall extremely unique, and this is what you get in the end. Oh wait a minute, we've got 2 absolutely massive stickers from the side. Fuck. These are about as terrible as you could imagine. They don't actually fit well, and when you try to kind of recess them in between, it just looks even worse. Whoa, damn. Anyway, popping on the backpack, flipping them over, and then the head, and there is the Gundam that is at the heart of Gundam the End. So next up, we're on to building the backpack, and this is quite wild. You build up the shoulder sections, cut out the big shields, and then you build the hands. The hands are quite interesting, big yellow fingers. They're all attached together. However, they all have their own individual joints, including ball joints. So if you were quite handy with a model kit saw, you'd be able to cut these into individuals. Then you attach it all together. See that the face has absolutely abysmal color separation here. You've got 3 huge stickers per one to attach on. They're not the easiest to line up, especially the one on the little Gundam beard. That is just sticker gore. And that right there then is what it looks like attached together. You throw all of this onto Gundam the End. This is what it looks like with all that attached on. And finally, you do build the weapons, which are a pair of revolvers. Now these kind of sickened the Warhammer builder in me because there is no barrel holes in the end. So I had to grab the old model drill and drill a couple of holes into the ends of those so they didn't just kind of look so weird and holeless. Looks a lot better now. So the last thing in here, and probably the most unique and fun aspect of this kit, is you've got a gunpla inside of your gunpla, which is the tiny little kind of unicorn-esque looking little guy in here. So you just pop the head together like so. As you can see, it's just cast in white. Body is just 2 pieces that attach together. All of the joints in here are those polycap balls that attach onto pegs like so. And you finish them off by attaching on the arms. So again, quite simple articulation, but the fact that it does have articulation at all is nice. This will definitely look nice painted up, but out of box it does look very basic, and we do have a whole ton of stickers for using on this little guy. Actually, it says we've got 5, so I might as well stick them on. And bam, there's what he looks like with those stuck on. Now let's jump quickly into the aesthetics. So that right there is the high-grade Gundam the End finished out of box, and all I can say is this took me so long that I'm completely out of time for today. So that does mean I'm going to be blasting through the review at breakneck speed. First off, when it does come to the aesthetics here, this is definitely a disappointment. It's the attaching of stickers onto this that took me so long today. It's kind of crazy just how long attaching stickers onto a kit, sticking them on, takes compared to plastic parts. Just aligning them, laying them there, takes quite a long amount of time, and this kit comes crammed with stickers. And that is the most negative aspect about this particular kit, because if you think about it, and if you look at it right here, at its core, this is an absolutely beautiful kit. The design is stupendous, it's over the top cool, and it is ridiculously unique. But it is the stickers that bring it down so far. They just look so bad, they layer on badly, they've been terribly designed, and there is just so goddamn many of them. They're even on the sides of the head where you're going to see them all the time. Even the sticker on the middle of the forehead just looks kind of bad the way it's recessed in there. The stickers definitely bring this kit down. So if you're an out-of-box builder, this kit is not going to look great. If you're a detailer up, it will look okay, but this is almost a kit that needs a full overhaul. Again, the foundation is there, but there is those big hollow fingers that you can see from pretty much every angle. They don't look good, the sticker's not great, and the color separation, if you leave them off, is pretty miserable. Again, cool design, cool concept, executed very poorly. So jump now into the accessories, and here's everything Gundam the End comes with, and it's quite an amount of daft stuff to say the least. First off, we've got a pair of very long 6-shooters, so a pair of revolvers. We've got that little ghost-like Gundam that goes inside of it, various different parts for attaching on to recreate the kind of craziness that this thing gets up to, which I'll show you in a minute. And we do have 4 extra hands for a grand total of 6, which is nice because you're never going to get another pair of yellow hands to match this particular kit. So overall, a nice spread, but as for how good the stuff is, well, let's skim through it really quickly. So as for weapons in here, we do get some revolvers. We've got some fixed pose hands for holding onto these. They just tab into the palms like so. So it's not necessarily holding onto them. They're just kind of resting in its hands just like so. Interestingly enough, with the middle finger on the trigger, thumbs on the hammer too, so some thought definitely went into these. And attaching these hands on is the usual way. Just pop them off just like so, and pop in the revolvers like that. I'm guessing when this is closed up, it's meant to look like it's wearing a poncho, like a bit of a gunslinger. And that right there is what one of these looks like attached. Again, kind of just hovering in the palm of the hand. When it comes to the articulation on this particular kit, it's the usual kind of semi-bouncy polycap revive style build, but overall not too bad. And the build of the various joints feels pretty good. I feel the core of this kit is quite nice. It's just the wings and stuff that was all around it really do cheapen it to a large degree. Anyway, trying the usual pose, and I'm going to be doing it in real time today because time is of the essence. I lost a side skirt. The arms are attached into the shoulders, which always limits a kit's posability overall. And that right there is pretty much what we get. The legs are quite nice, including the tilt at the ankle here. There's nothing besides a little bit of rotation in the actual body and the ab crunch zone. There's nothing really going on besides that rotation. The shoulders are very locked, but the arm articulation is quite nice. Overall, it's good, but very limited towards the core and the shoulders. So finally now it is time to get this transformed and have that Ikkaku come out of its chest. So you just move the wings around just like so, you pop off the hands off the shoulders as well as the adapters, you get the face off of that, and then attach on the new face sections. Again, just as color accurate as the original, but you have to add on either a whole load more stickers. Well, you'll definitely have to paint because there isn't enough red in here. You do that on both sides, attach them onto extra large little arm segments and get them right back onto the shoulders where they were removed from. You then remove the shoulder purple armor segment and lift it up so you can see those eyes inside of the shoulder. Open up the chest, there's 2 panels you can take off, and then shift the top one upwards and the bottom one downwards. Just come off a peg and reattach into a different peg hole. Finally then you take that little Ikkaku and jam it right on into the chest, and this right here is what we get in the end, and this might be one of the most daftest designs of all time, and I mean daft positive. There's a lot of build fighters and build divers daft designs out there that are daft negative, but this is daft positive. The only problem is that sometime, somewhere in the design process of this model kit right here, it went from what are they smoking positive to what are they smoking? Negative. The amount of stickers on this kit is absolute murder, and beyond that, the amount of color accuracies on top of that the stickers don't cover is double murder, double homicide right here when it comes to color accuracy. Now, if you are going to paint the kit yourself, that means nothing. The only thing that is a big sore thumb on this is the sore thumbs and the sore fingers, which are all hollow. Those will all have to be filled in order for this to even look not cheap. So yeah, overall the aesthetics on this definitely fails, but there is a nice Gundam at the core of it, sadly. When it comes to the articulation, it's less than average, I would say. The legs and the arms are quite good, but the torso, as well as the shoulders, are next to paralyzed, especially the torso. When it comes to the accessories in here, these are wild. They're kind of crazy. In a good way, but at the same time in a negative sort of way. So I had to mark them down below average due to the fact that there's just such a cluster fudge mess of stickers and whatnot going on in here. Same goes for the build. The build on this is okay, but I spent most of my time adding stickers. Again, if you're getting this kit for an out-of-box build, I do not recommend it. If you're getting this kit for a paint job or a custom kit, I definitely recommend it. It's a whole lot of fun. This fully finished up, painted up, would look astonishingly cool, but out of box, definitely a bit of a mess. As always anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back again for another day of Buildmas tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Oh yeah, and the manual basically gives you a big middle finger by saying, hey, if you want a cape, make your own cape. I mean, what? As always, this video right here and every single video I make would not be possible without each and every one of you guys who watches this video. And special thanks at the end of this video right here to those who support on the channel memberships as well as over on Patreon, including Caleb Engelhart, Joe, OG59061, Scotty Thomas, and Simon.